and welcome to PCSimulators.org. And thanks to everyone who subscribed. We've reached over 1,000 subscribers now, so the channel is really growing. And thanks to everyone, and please share and contribute our channel, the channel for PC simulation. Okay, today we're going to look at Fernbus. Now, it's a coach simulator, and I think probably the only coach simulator available for PC. There are bus simulators, notably Bus Simulator 2016 and OMSI 2, but no real coach simulation. There was talk of SCS doing a coach simulator, but there seems to be a bit sketchy the plans for that. Some sites you look at say it's going to happen, some don't say anything. So for now we have Fernbus. So Fernbus is a company which operates in Europe, and it is made by TML Studios and produced by Aerosoft. Now, TML Studios, if you remember the World of Subway series, which is still going, of course, they were responsible for that. So we looked at it a couple of months ago when it was first released. A lot of bugs. Let's see if they fixed any. The force feedback wasn't really implemented much at the time. So let's see what happens when we look at it now. So let's go to the screen, and we're going to click on the main screen, and this is our main screen. We're going to click on settings, and for the game settings we have auto-centering wheel, which if you have a wheel will allow you to auto-center it, obviously. You have a couple of options there with show tutorial and subtitles, show the bus stop areas, which helps you when you're picking up passengers, and various options which you obviously can work out for yourself. Now, enable force feedback. We're going to enable that because there was talk of force feedback not being really well implemented in the early stages, but there's an option there, so we're going to enable that. And traffic density, where we're going to leave that 100. So already there's an improvement there with regards to the force feedback. So click on accept and then go back. Game, I think, was it a problem with the events? I can't remember what it was now. So event frequency, we're going to put that to 0, and the reason for that is events like roadblocks and traffic jams happen, but I found when I've been looking at this that on certain routes there's a traffic jam and nothing happens, and you're just sitting there for a long time. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to put that at 0 so we don't get any blockages while we're showing you the simulator. So I click accept. That's event frequency. The next thing I want to show you, obviously the audio is quite straightforward. You have a master volume and your ambient volume, which is your environment, things like the road sounds and things like that. The effect is like the engine and the voices of passengers, and music obviously is for the music in the game, which I've turned down to 0. And the master volume controls all the other volumes. So click on controls. Now this can be a little bit confusing, so what I want to take you through, first of all, you see there it says found devices, and it's found all my devices correctly, and it's actually named them correctly, so that's good. So what we need to do is I'm going to choose my Logitech G29, and I'm going to click on assistant, and that is like a calibration tool. There we go, calibration assistant. So we're going to put everything in the default position. The only thing about this is it doesn't show you an animation of the wheel. So it would be handy to have that, so you can actually say, okay, is that the center? But anyway, on the G29 there's a blue band which tells you that's the middle. So click on confirm. Now steer to the very left, so I'm going to do that, and then back to the default position. Okay, there you go. Now steer to the very right and back to default position, which is there. Okay, now accelerate. So I press my accelerator pedal and then my brake pedal. And now you can see I've got my steering and my brake and acceleration. That's good. So the only little problem about that is why couldn't you have this when you're calibrating it? It'd be nice to see a little graphic so you know where your wheel is centered or not. So click confirm, and now it asks me if I want to set further controls up, and I want to set up my indicator. So I'm going to click on continue, press the button for left indicator, so that's my left indicator, press the button for the right indicator, and the button for the retarder, well, I click that one, and the cruise control, that one. Click confirm. Right, so the other thing I want to do is make you aware now that even though you've set it up, you still got to assign the controls to your coach and to your general options. General is when the man is walking around the driver. So one thing I noticed is if you do use the track IR, then you need to change the default key, because if you go to the coach and look down for open close front door, you'll see, right, that it's F9. Now F9 with track IR pauses it, so you don't want that. We're going to delete the F9 and we're going to add a key, and I am going to add a key on my wheel. There you go, that's good. So go back to general. Please be aware, as I said before, that forward is not forward for coach, it's forward for the person. So the WASD keys, as what you use in third person shooters, is for the man or the driver walking around the bus. So we're going to go up to man Lions coach, and you see here gas, brake, steering, etc. So we need to set up the gas. So it's a bit puzzling sometimes, but what you have to do is click on this arrow, okay, and you see here that it's got the Logitech Racing USB and accelerate. So that's great. So that works fine. Click on the brake, and you see that the brake is working, and click on that arrow, and the steering is also working. So you can see that. So if you want to actually change it, you can go into add axis. And the other confusing thing you have to be aware of is, see here, you can't see the wheel. So it is there, but if you see this slide at the bottom, if you move it to the right, you'll see the other controllers. So if you've got multiple controllers like I have, and you can't see the wheel, it's because strangely they've put it off screen. So there you go. So in this case, I want my wheel axis. So you click on the wheel axis, whoops, and it automatically assigns it to the default. So there you go. So your wheel is set. Okay, just remember that if you're going to set up your controls, you will need to go into this arrow, click on the add axis for your wheel, and then select the wheel from that screen. So we're okay there. Click on accept, and we've done that. Credits obviously just tell you who published the game, etc., and back goes back. Okay, so before we proceed, let's click on start game. Oh, just a quick one there. The news there will take you into a panel which tells you what's been added to the game or what's been updated, so that's good. And so we're going to click start game, and now we're going to get an option, either free play or career. We're going to go for career, and in career you can see you've got various options like the route creation, the passenger transport, route navigation, etc., etc. So click on career, and at the moment we've only got Germany, so you can't select any other countries. We're going to go Munich to Stuttgart, okay, and we are going to click next, and now it's going to ask us what we want to play. I'm going to go for realistic. If I click on realistic, let's have a click on customize. What realistic gives you see, it doesn't actually give me any options there. So if I click on realistic, actually, oh yeah, it takes away all these things like simple drive and simple light controls. Actually allows you to have a bit more of a complex model. So we're going to click on realistic anyway, that's what we want. And if I click and drag on the coach, you can see I can move around and have a look at it, and I can select from two coaches, the Lions coach C. Now I'm sure there's another bus, so we'll have a look at that actually. So I'll just put this on pause and see if I can get hold of the other bus, and we'll show you what the other options we have. So bear with me, I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, we're back. So one thing to note, we've added the new bus. So if we click on controls, you'll notice the Neoplan Skyliner is here. So this is an important point. You need to go back in and set the controls for it. I just realized that when I started the game again, and I realized when the controls are working. That's because you need to set it back up. As you can see, it's a separate item. Why you have to do it, I don't know. It seems a bit pointless if you've already set up some of the controls in the original coach. It might have extra features, I know, but the gas, the steering is always going to be the same, so I don't understand that. Okay, click accept. So before when think the same one with your controls, is not. You have to go into the controls after adding the Neoplan and reconfigure the controls for it. So okay, let's go back and start our game like we were going to. Click on career, Munich to Stuttgart, next, realistic, and this is the Neoplan Skyliner which we just purchased. As you can see, we have our personalized number plate there, and you can do that by customizing it here, and you can got various options as well with different colors and textures, even the blue one, as you can see. Quite a few different options there. Let's go one more there, version 1, and there you go. So you can choose whichever one you want. You change your license plate here and the license plate, and we're going to go no repaint. So back, realistic again, and we leave the time at 1600. You're going to change that if you want to. I think if you go to 5, oh, it lets you go to 5 this time. Well, last time it didn't. Okay, and so we're going to have sunny weather and click start game. So just an important point to remember, the Neoplan is about £10.99 in UK pounds. Maybe it's a little bit pricey for the extra coach, and you have to reconfigure that controls for that coach if you purchase that additional coach. So bear that in mind. The system setup we are using today is an i7 with 2 GTX 980 cards, 32 gigabytes of RAM and it's 1 terabyte SSD drive. So here's the coach in all its glory, the Neoplan. Let's go inside and have a look. Open the door, we walk around outside. There you go. Quite a large double-decker coach, of course. So let's go inside and have a look. Here you go. Step in. The cockpit looks pretty good. We'll be sitting there in a second. And if we work our way down, you can see there's quite luxurious tables and chairs, a toilet. And you see a toilet there. There's a toilet, I think. There you go. The toilet WC. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Can't open that cupboard. So you can't interact with any of this, which is a bit of a shame. And if you go upstairs onto the next deck, you can actually go up the stairs and have a look around. You can see that you can actually climb upstairs. So I wonder if those monitors actually work here. There's a monitor there, and there's the front side of the bus. So for people who were in school in the 80s in the UK, I remember everyone, all of us in the 80s, just sit at the back of the bus. Right, okay. So back into the bus, click on C. That gets us inside the driver's seat. Z allows us to set the display. You see there we're going to Munich, number 21. Start ignition with E. You can see it's all at the top there. It's telling you what to do at the top. Start engine by holding E. Right. Hold the foot brake down. Put the gear up. And loosen the parking brake. So off we go. So our controls are all working as they should. Oh! Sorry about that. Close the front door. There you go. So our front door is now closed. So to see that orange line at the bottom, that is our route. So we need to go to the left and follow the routes, pick up some passengers. And oh, did we actually enter force feedback? I can't remember. I thought we did. Not getting any force feedback at all. So let's turn the coach. And the auto centering, well, that doesn't seem to work either. It's just actually, bear with me a second. I'm sure it could have sworn that we put those in. So click on back, game, enable force feedback, correct. But it doesn't actually auto center wheel. That doesn't work either. So we've got a standard G29 wheel, but none of these force feedback or the auto centering works. What's this guy doing? Well, I'm gonna have to mount the payment here. Didn't get much room to move there, so we have to mount the payment, I'm afraid. The white guy was turning right and didn't give me any room. It may have been my fault though, actually, because I wasn't concentrating. Okay, so we passed that. Must be rush hour traffic. 5 o'clock at night. So the wheel doesn't know if it's actually. I'm trying to line it up. It doesn't seem to be very straight. So that should be straight. It should be going straight here. Look, and is it? It's veering to the left. No, it's not good. So let's go to the left to pick up our passengers. He's letting me through, thank you, buddy. Off we go. There's our station on the left there, so pick up some passengers. Is it H the horn? Yep. And of course, UK guys, if you're watching this from the UK, we are actually driving on the opposite side of the road, because we're in Germany, so this coach is a left-hand drive. So beware when you're driving the coach. And there's our bus stop, and we are going to park up and pick some passengers up from here. There you go. I'm just not 100% happy with that wheel. I'm going to click on controls again, and I'm going to try and recalibrate that Logitech G29 because it doesn't seem to be going straight. So here we go. Center it, yep, confirm. Steer to the very left, and then back to default. Steer to the very right, and back to default. Okay, accelerate, brake. Okay, that's better. Click confirm, and click on confirm. Okay, so we've done that. Hopefully that will be back in the game. So now we've got to check in our pan. Just put our handbrake on and open the door to let us out. Click C to get out of the driver's seat, and let's check them in. So here we go. To check them in, you walk up to them, press the left mouse button, and now you need to log into your application here. You see, the one thing is very, very bright. It's supposed to be 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so now we can just check him in by clicking the tick, and he goes in, and he just miraculously disappears. He didn't actually even walk onto the coach, he just disappeared. Okay. Oh yes, of course. Now they want their luggage in, so we need to open the luggage compartment, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, here is it? No, that's the door. I can't remember what the luggage compartment is now. Is that it? There we go. There's a luggage compartment there, so they can put their suitcases in here. They have to open those doors before they can put their luggage in. Now he should be able to go in now. There you go. Cheers, Bertie. He sounds Italian. Okay, back here. Oh, he wants a ticket. And he wants to go to Munich, look. So we need to click in here and just look for Munich. Click on Munich. München. Yep, check. And yep, okay. Scan it by clicking on the code. He's gone in. She's got the right ticket. Oh, no, invalid. Oh, you can't get on. Your ticket okay. Your ticket okay. What? Yeah, sure. Yeah. The only thing is, like, the passengers all look the same, and she's walked. Where's she going? She's just walking the circle.
Ciao. Fahren Sie in meine Richtung, sehr freundlich.
Okay.
Hallo. Fahren, ciao.
Mahlzeit, bitte sehr.
Okay, everyone's got the right ticket.
Tag. Sie wollen bestimmt mein Pool.
Okay, so you can see some obvious flaws there. She seems to be stuck on the spot, and when you check them in, they just disappear. So that's a bit crap, really, isn't it? Let's close the doors. There's luggage compartments. Make sure they're all closed, and have a quick look around. It's a bit bright, isn't it? It's a bit too bright in the floor. Look, it's got a few imperfections in it, but it seems to be over bright. Anyway, get back in. Click C. Let's close our doors, and now we need to go to the next stop. So what we need to do is open the toilet, which is Al and mine, and the Wi-Fi, and the announcer.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Flixbus. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr an Bord seid und wir gemeinsam unser heutiges Reiseziel ansteuern. Bevor wir richtig in Fahrt kommen, hier ein paar Hinweise. Auch bei uns im Bus gilt die gesetzliche Anschnallpflicht. Bitte schnallt euch deshalb während der gesamten Fahrt an.
Ups.
In den Sitztaschen vor euch findet ihr unsere Bordkarte mit weiteren Sicherheitshinweisen und Infos zu unserem Snack- und Getränkeangebot. Eine Toilette befindet sich im hinteren Einstiegsbereich.
The steering there's no weight behind it. It's just because there's no force feedback, and it doesn't feel like you're actually driving a heavy vehicle, does it? It feels very, no, it just doesn't. You haven't got the resistance there, so they really need to sort that out, really.
Viele unserer Sitze
I don't know why I said light accident then. I think I mounted the curb a bit, so probably that's what it was, but I didn't think I hit anything. So follow the orange line in the bottom right hand corner there, you can see.
Auf flixbus.de stehen täglich brandaktuell alle Infos und Städteverbindungen für euch bereit. Natürlich wollen wir unseren Service ständig weiter verbessern. Für Feedback zu eurer Fahrt nutzt bitte den Fragebogen, den wir euch per E-Mail zuschicken. Wir danken für eure Aufmerksamkeit und wünschen eine entspannte Fahrt und viel Spaß an Bord bei Flixbus.
Open the window as well, look, F5, F6.
Hello and welcome
Oh,
to
English.
Flixbus. We're glad to have you on board and that we can get you to your favorite destination today. Before we set off, we would like to share some information about the journey. The wearing of seatbelts is compulsory on board the bus. Therefore, please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire journey. In the seat pocket in front of you, you will find our information card containing further safety instructions.
I just turned into space.
Of our snacks and beverages. There's a restroom located in the rear boarding area. If you would like to browse the internet free of charge, simply log on to our onboard.
The cockpit, I don't think it's clickable. I can't. I haven't got a cursor to click anything. I haven't worked out how to do it, but you can't click it like you can in OMSI. So I have to look into that and see if we can.
Download our app onto your smartphone so you can take advantage of our many exclusive online discounts.
Können Sie mal
Oh,
heizen,
AC to
wir
cold.
sind nicht in der Ach-
Right, so that's something we need to change. So you see the air condition. You have to remember what the air conditioning is. So we click on the Skyliner coach, and you want the heating on. So we need to go here and find out where the heating is. So air conditioner warm. So we haven't got a key for that. So I'm going to click on add key, and I'm going to put. Let's have a look. What's that? What did I do? Oh, no, we don't know. Add key in that one, and the air conditioner cooler. Okay, got an add key in that one. Okay, accept. So I've just made that bit warmer.
Access.
Visit flixbus.com or get in touch with us.
I just warmed up the cabin a bit.
We're always striving to improve our service. Please use the questionnaire we send you by email to give us feedback about your journey. You can also use it to share your suggestions, ideas and requests. We are always ready to assist. And now, we can finally set off. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a relaxing journey and enjoy traveling with Flixbus.
So we're still in Stuttgart at the moment. We need to get them. I'm sure I did that. I'm sure I switched that on. Try again anyway. So on the right you see there's a petrol station, so you can put petrol in if you need it. I can't really read my gauges here, so I'm going to assume we've got petrol, because I can't really see if we have or not. Okay. Let's follow the road. We need to go straight, so we'll stay in this lane. Hope they're not going to moan now about the heating. What do I think of it so far? Well, oh look, this is silly. I'm sure we actually changed it. Right, clicking controls, and now where are we? Skyliner, air conditioner, warmer. Nothing else there, is there? Air conditioner, warmer. So we did actually. Let's try it again. Warmer. Yeah, it's the same key. So I don't know what they're moaning about. Okay, well I hope it doesn't come up again. Because if it does, I don't know what else to change, because I've just changed that to warm. What was I saying? What do I think of it? Yeah, the idea is great, but I find the driving itself is a bit strange. You've got no force feedback, and It's like I haven't got, like I said, there doesn't seem to be any resistance in the wheel. It's like I put it straight there, and I'm not sure it's good. It goes straight there and there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I'm a bit confused at the moment.
Könnten Sie mal das WC freischalten?
So I've opened the toilet for them. Oh, good grief. AC to cold. Well, what did you want me to do? I've just turned it up to warm. So we're 43 kilometers now. In the bottom right you got your speed limit, which is good. So you can tell how fast you're going. Now we need to get onto the motorway. On the right is the motorway entry. So here we go. Oh no, this is really annoying. So they keep moaning about the heating. Click on controls, right? Now I don't know, but if I click on here and we go down to air conditioner, alright, we need to toggle it. Perhaps we need to toggle it. Okay, let's add the key to toggle it. And I don't know, we'll put number end. Okay, so we'll click end and we'll toggle it off. Perhaps that will fix the job. Okay, so I've switched the aircon off, hopefully, and that an annoying message won't pop up again. So on we go. Onto the motorway. So another thing to remember, you have to toggle the air conditioning. So for some reason it was switched on, and rather than make it warmer, you had to switch it off. But I didn't know it was on in the first place, so perhaps I need to look at that. Onto the motorway we go. It's still moaning about the air conditioning. What the hell? Okay, so now we're on the motorway. Motorway's good. Nice sounds on the motorway. Perhaps they need to. There you go. Close the window, perhaps. That might shut them up. So we're on the motorway. Oh, now it's hot. Oh, for crying out loud. That's a bit over the top. Okay. So we're going to Munich now. We've got about 216 kilometers there, you see on the right. So at this point I think we can safely say that it's got a few faults. The idea is great. I like the idea you can drive a coach to different countries, but there's a few drawbacks. The steering is really a bit strange, and it's air conditioning. Right, here you go again. It's a bit stupid. It keeps coming on and off. I mean, I just switched the aircon on and off about 10 times here, and they still go on about it. So we went through the tunnel. Okay, so at this point we'll safely say that we'll enjoy the journey, and we'll be back in a few throws with some more commentary later on.
Es ist hier wirklich heiß drin.
hier drin. Ich bin nur noch am Schwitzen.
Ist die Klima jetzt defekt?
Gibt es hier keine Heizung? Ich hätte einen Pullover mitnehmen sollen. Ist das kalt?
Hier drin wachsen schon Eiszapfen.
Könnten Sie mal die Klima anmachen? Netz defekt?
Herzlich willkommen bei Flixbus.
So, we are now only 34 kilometers away from Munich, and as you can see, the journey may have seen a lot of messages about the air conditioner at the beginning. I've managed to work it out. You need to get the right temperature, but it's difficult to see where the temperature is in the cockpit. There's no indication of what the temperature actually is. So still struggling really with without the force feedback and that the information it gives you as you drive in. Takes some getting used to if you've been playing simulators with the force feedback. There is force feedback, I've noticed, but only when you hit something. So it doesn't seem to be anything on the road. So please put that in. That is quite an important aspect of the game. So you really need to get that right, TML Studios, because that's what, you know, if you're going to make a driving simulator, then you need to incorporate proper force feedback. So again, as we approach Munich, the graphics are very good. They're not outstanding. They're not in the same class as the Euro Trucks 2 simulator, because the brightness levels seem to be don't seem to be right to me. I haven't changed the brightness levels on any of my games, or the gamma, so I don't see why I would need to change it for this particular game. But yeah, so like you look at the pavement on the right, like, so, just looks too bright, doesn't it? It looks too perfect, like I said before. So hopefully they're going to fix that. So we're coming to Munich now, so we're going to have a quick look at the. You see, go over these bumps here, like you see the road bumps. There's just no feeling from the wheel. So that's where we are. Let's turn that's the bus that we're driving, the Neoplan, which is an add-on. It's $10.99. I gotta be honest, I think it's a bit overpriced. I don't think it actually offers you anything miles different to what you have, and it's a very steep price, I think, to pay for one coach add-on. So, you know, it's okay, but it's not miles different than what you've got already. So, I mean, the cockpit as well inside. If you go inside the cockpit, you can't click any buttons like you can with OMSI. So, as I said, with the air conditioning, I was getting a lot of messages, and I basically don't know what the temperature was. So, there might be a button for that. Let's hope I'm wrong, but it's a bit annoying when you're trying to drive and you get a message every 5 minutes saying that it's either too hot or too cold when you don't know what the temperature is. So, a lot of things to fix, I think. The only thing is the only. Oh, the window's great when you open it. You can hear the sound. The only thing is, there's no other Euro Truck simulators out. Sorry, not Euro Truck. I beg your pardon. There's no other coach simulators out, so it's difficult to compare it to anything else on the market. OMSI is a bus simulator as such, so it doesn't really operate on the coach route. So it's hard to say to compare that and bus simulator. They're two different things, really. There was talk of Euro Truck makers making a coach simulator, but whether that's rumour or not, I don't know. I haven't had any news of whether it's official or not. So if they do, then it will be very interesting. They would obviously, TML would obviously need to sharpen their game a bit, because there's still a lot of issues on this, and I think they really need to fix it. And to charge perhaps £10 for an add-on where the game itself is not really totally complete yet is, you know, it's a bit of a joke, really. The people who with it to sort of part with their hard-earned cash. When the game itself has got a lot of things to fix. So hopefully they'll listen and they'll fix those things, and perhaps maybe reduce the price. I mean, I would say a fair price is probably about $5.99 for the coach. So for another coach at this stage, if the game was so well advanced and maybe they fix all the other faults, then they might be justified in doing that. But like I said, it's a bit steep, really, for the present moment in time. The track IR works okay. A bit of screen tear in there, which I suppose you can't fix the settings. But then again, why would I want to go into my settings and fix it? The program should be clever enough to detect your settings in this day and age. I mean, I've been in computers now since the early 1990s, and work with things like IBM MS-DOS, where you had to put a floppy disk in and change settings. But these days, the sophistication in the software is there, so you shouldn't be any excuse to go in and say, oh, let me change this, let me change that. Screen tearing shouldn't really happen. But I'm speaking as an IT professional there, and as a gamer, I'm saying, well, these days you get Xbox One consoles, etc. You don't have to go in and change any settings, so why should you do that on a PC? Okay, some of you out there might be saying, yeah, well, PCs are more common. Well, they are, yes, but they should have access to all the common hardware, and should at least make sure it runs on the common hardware with a certain amount of certain settings. So there we go. Turning left. We are in Munich. We're only about 10 kilometers away now from our destination. So now we're in the city. We have to be careful that we don't speed. And also, those of you who are watching, let us know if this does indeed look like Munich, because I haven't been to Munich, so I don't really know if this is an accurate representation of Munich or not. So it'll be interesting for you guys to let us know in the comments. Whoops.
Ja, jetzt noch Flügel und wir heben ab.
Okay. Yes, go too fast there. Right, go turn right. Okay. So yeah, please let us know if the Munich does indeed look like Munich, because I can't tell you guys for sure, because I haven't been there. I don't know. Another thing, I hope that in future that there will be packs released for other countries. At the moment it's just Germany. Germany seems to feature quite heavily in OMSI as well, and hopefully for bus and coach simulator fans, we're going to get a few more different countries. I know that OMSI are currently making a well, not OMSI, there's a project in OMSI for the South London network, which is a welcome addition to the OMSI add-ons. Let's hope that Euro Coach Simulator does that. Sorry, the Coach Simulator does the same. So let's see some more countries, TML. I know that the main game is currently based in Germany, but it would be nice to see other countries in Europe as well. So, and maybe even going from country to country would be an idea. So let's hope that is added at a later date. Not too late though. We'd like to see some new routes as soon as possible. So I need to turn here, so I need to get into the right lane. Here we go. And I think I need to turn left. And we seem to be arriving at our destination, guys. So, well, it's a bit bare for a bus station. It's not really busy, is it? Whoa. So that's another minus point. If you're at a bus station, you should see some activity. There's nothing happening. It's like a ghost town. So come on, guys, fix that as well. There's a lot of things here which should really have been added in. Really, I mean, there's a bus station and there's nobody around you. Okay, there's another coach, but come on, it's got to be a bit busier than that. Surely it's Munich. It's a big city. And a few of the buses here, and there's our stop. So let's stop the coach. And let the passengers out as well.
Da kann sich die Bahn echt mal ein Beispiel nehmen.
Let's open the coach. Let the guys out. And there they are. See, that's another strange thing. They got off the bus, and well, you didn't even see him get off the bus. So what happens now? I'm not sure. We've parked up. Oh, got to get their luggage out, haven't we? Yeah, that's a point. Are they going to pick their luggage up? So they got their luggage. We didn't see that either. Okay, I've finished the game, have I? Have I finished the route? What do I do now? No message. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. So let's close this door. There's still luggage in there. Am I going to another destination? Well, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do next. There's one suitcase left on the coach. Well, that seems to be it, guys. Okay, so well, how do I rate this? Well, the idea is great. I like the idea of a coach sim. There are many obvious problems. Another one here is we've got to Munich. The people got off. They're just standing there. I didn't see them take their luggage off. There's one suitcase left in there, so it doesn't tell me what I'm supposed to do next. Very, very confusing. The force feedback option, of course, that's a big problem. You get force feedback if you crash into something, but you don't get anything on the road. So obviously that's switched on. The passengers, they look like they are. Well, they've just got off there, and they all look the same. There's about 3 copies of one person there, and they're just standing there. There's no atmosphere in the station. There's no cars coming and going. There's some buses parked. So I'm going to have to give this, I think, at the moment, 6 out of 10, and that's a low end 6, because it's just too much to fix, really. And charging maybe $10.99 for an extra coach at this stage is just bananas, really. So PC Simulators, we think it's got potential, but let's hope they fix it. It's been out a few months now, and they still need to fix a lot of the issues that they've got. So by all means, I think there's no other coach simulation on the market, so yeah, it's a good idea to get hold of one. But should there be another competitor, then obviously they'll need to step up their game.